This video is about a nurse named Penny and her near-death experience and what she experienced when she was on the other side. So when Penny crossed over, she asked, "Why am I at this place?" She was told, "You made this place." After Penny's divorce, she kind of closed herself off. She had been so hurt by the abandonment of her kids. She thought, "I'm never going to get in another relationship again." Thus completely building this wall around herself to protect herself from ever being hurt again. The things you build up here in this physical plane are carried over into heaven, and you have to deal with them whether they are good or bad. This was a physical manifestation of Penny's isolation, the jail that she had built and imprisoned herself in, thinking she was somehow safe. Maybe she was safe, but she wasn't living. So when she realized this, there was a crack, and where a crack happened, light started coming through. The whole thing opens and this big, bright spirit starts coming towards her. The huge, grand female spirit comes to her. She puts her arms out and immediately pulls her in and is holding her. With the angelic being's energy, she is casting away the darkness. She tells the nurse that is crying, "Calm yourself, dear one. There's no death. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It just changes forms. You do go on. You can't extinguish your light." She experienced this shaking in this light and knew it to be God. He said, "I am." He was making the declaration that the creator of everything was here. "I'm the one that made you. Everything exists as I will it so." She is shown the things that she's done, and she sees the scene of a lady in front of her that didn't have enough money for her groceries. So the nurse gives the lady the money she's short for the groceries. And she was shown that situation played out years ahead. The lady is a volunteer at the food pantry, and this woman comes in and doesn't have enough food. And this lady volunteer says, "It's okay. I've been there." The nurse said she didn't think that that would have such an impact moving forward. This shows what your purpose is in the moment. It's not always some grand thing. Where you are right now, you can help someone. Then she was shown some bad. She was shown this nurse that she thought was horrible and didn't want to work with. Even though Penny never said anything bad to this nurse, she was holding on to this ill will in her heart. God flashed back and showed Penny this other nurse's whole life and showed her what her dad had done to her for years. And this other nurse Penny found, it was amazing that she wasn't a psychopath, because she had been used her whole life, but decided to dedicate her life to helping others. And the nurse realized this nurse was doing the best she could. And God said, "You have to control your thoughts. You are having all these negative thoughts, and you are putting these negative thoughts and energy on her. You are making it harder for her to be who I intended her to be. You're chaining her. You have to look for the good in her. She had to decide if she would surrender herself to God, and she decided to. And this energy came up through her toes, up her legs, into her middle, and was like a cloak, and it was swirling around inside, healing parts of her, and even things she didn't remember were problems. And it went up around her head, and up through her throat, and up through her mouth. And she was able to sing these beautiful songs. And then the energy went up through her eyes and out and bounced back into her brain. And everything she could never understand, she now could. Everything finally made sense. And then she was shown a future scene because she was angry. She was angry about her kids being abandoned by her ex-husband. And the Creator said, "You have completely misunderstood why this happened." So in this scene, she's sitting in the bleachers with her son, and her oldest grandchild is playing soccer. And she looks over at her son, and he says, "I'm going to be the dad to him that I deserved." And the nurse understood her son is breaking the chains. He's breaking the cycle of broken homes and absent fathers. God grabbed her hand and started to go through the spirals of her DNA. And they got to a spot, and he says, "Do you see this?" And they got to this part of the DNA called junk DNA. The part that we don't know what the DNA does. And she goes, "You're in me." And he says, "Yes, I'm your father. You're loved because the Creator made you. You don't have to do anything to deserve this love. You were made on purpose, for a purpose. Your Heavenly Father and Creator is in every strand of your DNA. Every reaction and interaction you have with others has a purpose. You make the world a better place. And by keeping the best thoughts and images of people, you help them to become their best selves. Keep on shining bright, my loves.